Rays in Tampa Bay. Great AL rival coming up next. It's a beautiful Friday night in Toronto. The roof at Rogers Center is wide open. CN Tower is standing high above the field. Tampa Bay's in town to take on the Toronto Blue Jays for a final series this season. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tambler. And, Pat, all season long we have seen this young team grow. A lot of players having good years, but I don't think there's been one player that's grown more from one year to the next than Brett Cecil.
You know what I think it is? I think it's confidence. There were times last year when Brett Cecil would get into trouble and you could just see him on the mound. He didn't have that confidence. This year he has taken that to another level, and it really shows against very good teams. The Rays and the Yankees, a 6-1 record with an ERA just over 2. Brett Cecil is a different pitcher because he's got good confidence on the mound now.
Well, Brett Cecil is going to go up against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a lot of speed. They can beat you with many different offensive weapons. Sam Cosentino had a chance to catch up with John Buck earlier to talk about the speed of the Rays.
John, this is a Tampa team that has plenty of speed, plenty of athletes on it. When you're back behind the plate, how much does that affect the way in which you call a game?
I try not to let that, as far as what pitches I want to do to get a hitter out with, I try not to change that at all because I want the out at the plate. What I might change is end up doing more slide steps or make my pitcher change his times to the plate or throw overs. That way I can stick to what I want to do with the hitter.
Yeah, Brett Cecil against Carlos Pena, a ton of success hitting the ball out of the park. Anything you can do differently against him to have some success?
Just don't leave it up and out over the middle. Look back at the films, it's that up middle end pitch, and I think if we execute the pitch the way we were trying to design to do it when we were trying to do it, we would have had the good outcome. It's just that we've left a couple out over the plate for him.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
The Tampa Bay Rays are a throwback team. 156 steals this year. They can beat you without a hit. 6 different players have double-digit steals, and they're led by the great Carl Crawford with 42. They can flat-out run.
Film Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Friday night series opener against Tampa Bay. Toronto looking to even their season series at 8 games apiece. Currently, Tampa has a 1-game edge. Joe Madden's Rays have won 8 of the 15 games so far. Tampa Bay won their 41st road game on Tuesday in Baltimore. They have really played well on the road this year. Their third baseman, the cleanup hitter, Evan Longoria, this season, he has played a tune on Blue Jays pitching. Hitting .370 with 3 doubles, he's driven in 7 runs. When you look at this ball club right now, you talk to the people on the staff, some of the people that travel with them, they're concerned about the hitting. But they have so many offensive weapons, they can beat you without getting many hits.
Yeah, it's not like the Blue Jays who really count on the home run to score runs. They can manufacture runs with their great stealing and the legs that they have. Great legs and a lot of different weapons. Brett Cecil will take the mound for his 25th start of the season. He's pitched very well against Tampa this season, looking to beat them for the 4th time. His only loss versus the Rays came the last time he faced them, and he didn't pitch poorly. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. The Jays eventually lost that game 6-2. He's 8-2 versus the East, and has really, I think, made himself a very good pitcher. On top of the confidence, like we talked about in the opening, I think Brett Cecil, his stuff, he understands himself just a little bit more. He knows what works for him, and he knows the league a little bit more. So he has really taken a giant step this season.
He's anxious to turn things around against his Tampa Bay team. He mentioned his start last time out. He pitched 7 innings and actually wanted to go back for the 8th. He finished very strong in that game. He retired the last 13 Rays batters he faced. B.J. Upton will step in to face Cecil to start the game. Goes after the first pitch. Mini 4-game hit streak for B.J. Upton. 5 for 13 with 3 home runs.
Yeah, really starting to swing it. Joe Madden will hit him leadoff versus left-handers. I think the whole key for B.J. Upton, he's got a little bit of a leg kick. And if that timing is right and his hands go back, he is very dangerous. You mentioned the 3 home runs in the last 4 games for Upton. A world of talent. He's just starting to come through tonight.
Ball and a strike. Line drive into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Leadoff base hit for B.J. Upton.
Watch that front foot of B.J. Upton. He uses it as a timing mechanism, and when everything's working together, he goes back and stays back. Upton is very dangerous.
That front foot doesn't move much, comes down quickly, and once he gets it down, then the hands can come through. So there's nobody out with Upton at first, and he's a base-stealing threat. 39 steals this season. Jason Bartlett, the number 2 hitter. First pitch strike. Good way to shut down the running game. Throw that first pitch strike and eliminate the deep counts.
It's another thing that Brett Cecil has done well this year against Tampa Bay is he's varied his counts to home plate. He has quick pitched at times. Tampa has just 1 stolen base against him this whole season.
Bounce out in front of home plate. John Buck will let it trickle into foul territory. We mentioned the Rays with their great speed. 156 steals for Tampa Bay. The White Sox were second, but Tampa Bay truly has balance in their lineup. 6 different base stealers have double-digit steals.
They will use the steal to their advantage. The straight steal, there's the double steal, there's the first and third steal. They'll also squeeze and hit and run. They've got great team speed, and if you don't hit for high average, and they're in the middle towards the bottom in batting average, you've got to manufacture runs somehow. They do as good a job as anybody in baseball.
Bartlett in a hole, 0-2. Bounced and dug out of the dirt. That could have been interesting. Lyle Overbay, we take him for granted that he saves so many errors at first base with his glove. Here's a perfect example of that. That skips by him. Upton's at third at least. 85%, that's a great percentage. Jammed, and that'll fall back behind the dugout.
Yeah, it's so hard to get a jump against a guy who holds the ball, who will slide step, who will quick pitch, he'll throw over. Upton has been over there, and he just doesn't get a good read right now on what Brett Cecil is doing. He has a very aggressive lead with 1 foot on the carpet, but just doesn't have an idea.
Now, John Buck talked about it in our open as he was going to ask Brett Cecil to vary his timing. Use the slide step, come set, make Upton wait, and then a snap throw from time to time. Just don't fall into any patterns that Upton can pick up on. Hot shot to third. Bautista to second for one. No time to get Bartlett. Good play by Jose Bautista to take away possible extra bases from Bartlett.
Where do you play him? I think he's fantastic at right field. And then at third base, he keeps coming up with great plays. For me, Jose Bautista is a very underrated athlete. He gets the sign from Escobar. You see him move over just at the end there on that off-speed pitch. But he's got great feet and very quick hands.
I play him at third. I play him at third because it's difficult to find a corner infielder with pop. Carl Crawford in the 3 spot. Another reason I play him at third, you can use his presence on the infield. He's a leader.
His leadership quality
gets lost in right field. But you put him at third base, he can come in there during tough situations, talk to the pitcher, talk to the catcher, get the infielders together. His presence at third, I think, is more valuable. Fly ball in the gap in left center. Vernon Wells is not going to get this one. Bartlett is headed for third. He's going to get the wave home. Crawford is headed for third, and there's the throw, not in time. Carl Crawford with his 11th triple of the season, and the Rays are out in front.
Well, that is what Carl Crawford does. He's got power and he's got speed. He'll drive this ball to left field. You can see Vernon Wells shading him to right field, but he slices it over his head in left field. 5 seasons of 10 triples make it 6 now, as this is number 11. You see Crawford turning it on once he sees that that ball is going to hit the turf, and he makes it very easily into third base.
Speed is a game changer. Evan Longoria with the infield drawn in and Crawford at third. 11 triples leads the American League. We mentioned Longoria's run against the Blue Jays. He has done a good job this season. He's been on fire over his last 2 weeks. 326 average and 3 home runs.
I think that coincides with his move to the cleanup spot for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Base it into center. Crawford will come home with the second run. Longoria delivers the RBI single. He now has 97 ribbies for the season.
They moved him into the cleanup spot 27 days ago, and he's hitting over 320 with now 27 RBIs. He's got quick hands and a short swing. Sends that one right back where it came from, and Crawford will easily score.
Great balance, great timing, and he has a remarkable ability to relax in pressurized situations. And he's 24 years old.
Clutch. Great fielder.
Carlos Pena, the first baseman, and the Blue Jays will utilize the shift. And now they kind of go back because the left-hander Cecil is pitching to him. Not as dramatic as we might see with a right-handed pitcher. He's had an impact against the Blue Jays, even though he's been held to a 179 average. Look at the RBIs. Don't worry about the strikeouts. Lots of damage from Pena.
He would fit really nicely into this lineup, the way that he swings it. A lot of home runs and a lot of production.
Pena has done some damage. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs this season against the Blue Jays. And John Buck talked about if they execute their plan and keep the ball out of the middle, they can have success. Run that ball in on his hands. A ball and 2 strikes.
That's right. He's had 4 hits in his career against Brett Cecil, all of them home runs. And if you make your pitch, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to get him out. If you go back and look at all the home runs that he's given up to Pena, everything was up and in the middle of the plate.
A ball and 2 strikes. Bounced to first, but foul. Well, Pena has an interesting breakdown when you look at his home runs, look at his strikeouts. He's a swing and a miss guy. He's had a lot of strikeouts, but you put him in this lineup, and Joe Maddon wants damage, and he can give you some damage. Hitting just over 200.
You know there are going to be guys on base. So when he goes deep, 26 home runs, they're not solo home runs. He has made the most of his 86 hits this year.
Against the Blue Jays, he has just 7 hits, but 13 RBI. Got him. And that breaking ball off the plate outside. He foul tipped it, but Buck held on.
Let's take a look closer look at Brett Cecil. Tonight's scouting report brought to you by TD Bank. Banking can be this comfortable. I think he needs to pitch off of his fastball. He can pit and paint with that fastball in and out. I think that is the key for him. Mix it up, though. Use all of his pitches. Don't set any patterns versus the Rays because they'll sit on it. And one thing that he does very well, slows down that running game. Again, 156 steals for the Rays this year. Just one of them against Brett Cecil.
Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman, takes the first pitch up and away. Blue Jays haven't figured out what to do with Rodriguez yet. A .410 average with 2 homers and 8 RBI. Against the league, he's averaging just .262.
And he has really worn out left-handed pitching this year. Joe Maddon puts him in big situations against lefties, hitting 78 points higher versus left-handed pitching this year.
Two balls and a strike. Brett Cecil, we mentioned how well he has pitched against the American League East. 8-2 this year against the American League East. He has been able to really fine-tune his focus against the tougher ball clubs. Eric Cooper down at first said no swing from Rodriguez. Rodriguez fits right into this profile of Tampa Bay players. Versatile, plays all over the field, good base runner, tough at bats, and a good defender no matter where you put him. He takes the walk. So there are 2 on and 2 outs here in the first. 2 runs already in for Tampa Bay. Bruce Walton jogs out to the mound to have a little visit with Brett Cecil. We had mentioned the Rays won their 41st game of the season on the road. That ties their franchise record for most wins away from Tropicana Field, and that's, to me, is a mark of a good ball club.
You know, it starts with pitching, but you also have to have the discipline and the mental toughness to go out on the road and to win, especially in the American League East. 41 road wins.
The Rays won 40 games on the road in 2008 when they went to the World Series. They also won 13 road series. They are looking to win their 14th series of the season on the road here over the weekend against the Blue Jays. The DH tonight is Rocco Baldelli. Baldelli back with Tampa Bay. Rips it into left field. Longoria around third, coming in to score. Rodriguez is getting the go-ahead. Escobar tried to barehand it and couldn't make the play. 2 runs come in on Rocco Baldelli's double down the left field line. 4-0 Tampa Bay.
What an addition for the Tampa Bay Rays and Rocco Baldelli. When he first came up, I thought he was going to be a star. He's had some injury problems that have set him back, but no problem here. Throw from Snyder will get away from Escobar, and they will score 2 runs very quickly. tries to barehead it, knowing that that's the only play that he could attempt to get the runner. So Rocco Baldelli cashes in 2 more.
What a comeback story for Baldelli. Had his first home run last week against the Orioles. A breaking ball just inside to Ben Zobrist, the right fielder. Zobrist, the 8th man to bat here in the first.
Tampa has been swinging the bats really well of late. They haven't been winning games so far on this road trip, but they're a very dangerous team offensively.
We had mentioned how well Cecil had finished up his last start against Tampa Bay down in St. Petersburg. He'd retired the final 17 hitters he faced in that game. Different story for him tonight. That's a long drive to left field. Zobrist, 2-run home run. Number 10 on the season for Zobrist. 6-0 Tampa Bay here in the first.
Joe Madden was telling me before the ball game that his team is starting to come around offensively, and the 2 players that he names were B.J. Upton and Ben Zobrist. He says they are starting to hit some home runs now and really drive the ball. God, watch how quick he is on the inner half is Zobrist, and he knows that he got all of it. Just 4 hits on this road trip. 3 of them now have been home runs for Ben Zobrist.
Kelly Shopik, the catcher, is the 9th man to bat. Brett Cecil had given up 24 starts. In his first 24 starts, had given up 9 earned runs. 6 already tonight with just 2 outs. Cito Gaston wondering what has happened with the dominance of Cecil against this Rays lineup. Last time out, they shut him down. He shut him down pretty effectively. This time he bounces back to get the strikeout, but the Rays send 9 men to the plate. Score 6 runs on 5 hits. Blue Jays have a deep hole to dig out of. Before they bat in the first inning, they've got some work to do against a tough Tampa Bay team. Jose Bautista against James Shields, who started tonight for Tampa Bay, 5 for 11 with a home run and an RBI. Last time Shields pitched in this ballpark, he was hit hard. Gave up 6 home runs to this Blue Jays lineup, and that's what it's going to take to get them back in the game tonight.
They eventually scored 17 runs in that game. He also had a season-high 4 walks. James Shields takes the mound, trying for the second time to match a career high in wins with 14. He set that back in 2008, had his 3-game winning streak snapped his last time out against Baltimore.
Dwayne Wise looks at a first pitch fastball upstairs. What a job he's done. Getting a chance to play a little bit here in September. A ball and a strike. Wise joined the Blue Jays in June. Very sporadic play early on, but he's played quite a bit here of late. And each time he plays, he's done something to get your attention with the bat, with the glove, with his legs,
with his arm. Yesterday, looked like he was going to have his third outfield assist when he uncorked the ball to home plate.
What's the mindset for the Blue Jays lineup now, knowing you've got such a deep hole to come out of?
Get that first guy on to start an inning. A little bit here, a little bit there. You don't try and get it all back with one swing. Let's make James Shields work a little bit here. See if he'll get a little wild. I would assume that he would try and be very aggressive with a 6-0 lead.
Foul back. Well, the one thing we had talked about at the start of the show was how the Blue Jays had played well against Tampa Bay and New York since the All-Star break. A 9-6 record, and that is going to get tested here tonight. See if they can dig their heels in. Strike 3 call. Shields comes right back with the fastball and pours it in on the inside corner.
He's got a great changeup, but you have to always be wary of that. If you're thinking along with him, or if you think wrong, that fastball that he can dart down the middle will catch you by surprise, and that's what it looked like to Dwayne Wise, that at bat.
Shortstop Junel Escobar. I always found this difficult as a catcher to maintain the pitcher's focus and make sure that he doesn't just stand out there and throw it over, try to throw it down the middle every time, especially early in the game.
Try to get into a good rhythm, throwing strikes.
And don't forget about your secondary pitches. Got 9 innings of baseball to play here.
I guess the one thing that would cross your mind was, okay, let's speed everything up. Let's get back into the dugout so we can score more runs.
Bouncing ball to third. Longoria backs up and it kicks off his glove. Boy, anytime you back up as an infielder, you're looking for trouble, and Longoria got in between.
One of the best fielding third basemen in all of baseball, Evan Longoria. Indecision right here. Where's the ball going to bounce? He initially tried to charge the ball, read it, the big hop off the dirt, came up on him a little bit. That'll go as an error. That's his 14th of the season. You don't see that very often with Evan Longoria.
That was a great example of the indecision. His first move and instinctive move was to come in, and then he saw he was going to get caught in between.
It's a Ray team that has been fielding the baseball really well. Third in the American League with just 71 errors all season long.
Jose Bautista hit his 44th last night. He's not waiting around. Got out in front of that fastball. 44 and 106 for Bautista in the power department. Interesting take on his home run off Darren O'Day. Said I was expecting to get a breaking ball. I just ripped the fastball foul, and sure enough, he looked for it, got it, and hit it out of the yard. Change up off Kelly Shopik. Escobar moves up.
One here, one there. That's what you're thinking right now if you are the Blue Jays. Ball in the dirt cannot be blocked by Shopik. Double play is taken out on that wild pitch. Shields' 12th of the season.
Big psychological boost to score to counteract that 6-run inning. Another changeup comes right back with it, but misses. Three and one. trying to get that changeup into the mix. It's forced Shields to fall behind.
Looking at him here, he looks like he hasn't gotten into it yet. He's really falling off the mound to the first base side more so than we have seen him in the past. Gave up 6 runs and 8 hits in 4 1/3 innings his last time out versus Baltimore.
Bautista skies it to right field. Zobrist coming in. Pena going out. Zobrist calls for it. 2 outs.
Still a very good pitcher, James Shields. So let's take a little closer look at what the big right-hander for the Tampa Bay Rays has to offer. James Shields has 13 wins, and he will challenge hitters. He doesn't like to walk any batters, and he'll use his fastball. He's got 2 types of changeup. One of them is a put-away changeup. That's the one that he will throw a little bit harder with 2 strikes and fly balls to home runs. He's a fastball pitcher. Now, the home runs, he's given up 30 of them this year, which is the most in the American League. So there's a chance that there could be a few leaving the yard tonight.
Vernon Wells, the cleanup hitter. That's the first pitch strike. Shields for his career 56 and 48. Vernon Wells has been swinging the bat well lately. Takes that little cut fastball down. A ball on the strike. But Shields for his career, you talk about him being a strike thrower. He's given up more hits than innings pitched for his career. 44 more hits than an innings pitched. So he's always going to challenge you to put the ball in play. There's a ball shot into right field. Zobrist has a good arm. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's up the line, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Good job by Brian Butterfield to take a chance, even in the first inning. Zobrist throws well, but he was offline, and the Blue Jays cut into that 6-run deficit.
Zobrist is second on the team in outfield assists behind Carl Crawford with 5 of them, and he has a shot. This ball is smoked to right field by Vernon Wells. Good job of staying right on that ball and shooting it into right field on 2 hops. Here comes Zobrist, but the ball is going to leak up the line on him. With a good speed of Escobar, he'll score easily. So you get that 1 run. You cash in and make that error really hurt.
Absolutely. Vernon Wells going to the opposite field for the rare situation. You can see Longoria shaking his head. That error cashed in immediately by the Blue Jays. Lyle Overbay hits it sharply up the middle, but Bartlett is shifted around and makes the play. But the Blue Jays get on the board. James Shields gives up a run. It's an unearned run. The run charged to Longoria. Tom Cheek to the Hall of Fame. The late Tom Cheek, great radio voice of the Blue Jays from the inception. 1977, Tom Cheek started it all. 4,306 games in a row, broadcast of Blue Jay Baseball, 2011 Ford C. Frick Award. Go to facebook.com/baseballhall. Click on Roll and vote for Tom Cheek. The voting ends September 30th, so make sure you log on today. Back to the top of the order. B.J. Upton got everything started in the first inning. A sharp single into center. One thing Bruce Walton has challenged his starters to do is have a very short memory. Forget about that first inning. It's gone. Pitch from here on out. Ball's popped on the infield. Right side of the diamond. Aaron Hill makes the catch.
You have to. Right now, what you're thinking, okay, this is an 8-inning game right now. Score is 0-0. I just know I can't give up any more runs. We'll watch Brett Cecil now and see if he does anything different now the second time through. First time through wasn't very fun for him. Let's see if he goes to his changeup a little bit more. Maybe his cutter hit on those right-handers.
It's all about adjustments, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher. Jason Bartlett showing bunt, takes a strike with the curveball. Bartlett's had a bit of a down season offensively, hitting just .252.
Last year at this time, Jason Bartlett was at .334. 12 home runs and 59 RBIs at this point. He has had some injury problems this year. His value is in the field.
It's a base hit there, and Wells has got to get over in a hurry to cut it off. Bartlett's got good speed. He's headed for second. The throw, not in time. Bartlett saw where that ball was headed and broke out of the batter's box thinking 2 all the way.
And he knew that Vernon Wells was going to have to go over and backhand that ball, his momentum taking him away from the infield. And it was going to be a tough throw. Here's where some speed shows up also. It's not just in steals. It's taking the extra base when you can and get yourself into scoring position. A good hustle play by Bartlett.
Carl Crawford cuts on the first pitch. Boy, Crawford, since he's hit in that third hole, has done a great job. Take a look at the effort by Bartlett.
Yeah, he knows right away who is going to field that ball, where it is hit, and he's got an excellent chance of moving in the scoring position. That's baseball instincts right there.
Oh, 0-2 to Carl Crawford. His triple in the first was his 11th of the season. That leads the American League. And they have dropped him down in the third spot. He's hit primarily in the 2 spot in the lineup throughout his career.
Joe Madden was telling me today, I asked him, why'd you move him into the 3 hole? He said, you know what, I want to get Carl Crawford up with more guys on base. With Bartlett and Upton getting on base a lot, I want him hitting.
Hill's going to have to hurry. He's got no play. Again, the speed of the Rays comes into action. Hill could see where that ball was hit and knew that Crawford runs so well out of that left-handed batter's box. He had to hurry.
And as an infielder, this puts so much pressure on you. You have to be quick. You have to be accurate, and there is no room for error when you've got a guy like a Carl Crawford speeding down that first base line.
That is a tough error charge to Aaron Hill. I don't think that's an error at all.
No. I already had it written down as an infield single.
Me too. You want my whiteout? First and third, Kevin Longoria has already driven in 1 here tonight. Boy, the Rays have bounced right back here in the second. A 1-out double by Bartlett and an infield grounder ruled an error on Aaron Hill. There's another base hit into center for Longoria. That'll get down in front of Wells. Bartlett jogs home. 7-1 Tampa Bay, where they keep the pressure on. Longoria with 2 RBI tonight. That error on Aaron Hill has been changed, and rightly so. That was an infield hit for Carl Crawford.
Yeah, you can't think that he's going to make the play, not when that guy runs. Coming into this game, the Tampa Bay Rays are a major league best 31-16 when the opposition starts a left-hander. And they are showing why. Good balance, good speed, a balance of power from both sides of the plate.
Carlos Pena takes the ball down low. Seven runs already scored by Tampa Bay on 8 hits. Off-speed pitch.
Josh Renicky has gotten up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, and he's getting loose very quickly. Pitched a couple of nights ago here.
Well, the Blue Jays certainly have a lot of bodies in that bullpen now. A ball and a strike to Carlos Pena. A run in here in the second. Popped out of play. Pena struck out his first time up. Cecil got him on a cut fastball. It was up and away. Fouled it off, but John Buck held on to it. We had mentioned that Brett Cecil in his first 24 starts had allowed just 9 earned runs. Tonight, there's another strikeout of Pena. We mentioned the 9 earned runs in the first inning all season long in 24 starts. Tonight he was touched up for 6.
How about 3 earned runs or fewer in each of his last 4 starts? He's been really pitching well. Right now, Tampa Bay, though, has just been better. You saw that one stat flash across the board. 5 for 5 already tonight with runners in scoring position.
Sean Rodriguez walked and scored in the first. Cecil falls behind Rodriguez. Sean Rodriguez is an interesting addition to this ball club. He came to Tampa Bay last year in August in the deal that sent Scott Kazmir to the Angels. And he's been a much talked about prospect in the Angel system for a while, but boy, has he turned out to be a pleasant surprise here.
I guess his natural position is second base, and he was blocked there by Howie Kendrick. And I remember when that deal was made, and I talked to Joe Madden about it. He says, keep your eye on Sean Rodriguez. This kid can really play. He can help a major league club very soon. He's a good athlete. He can play different positions, and he can swing a pretty good bat.
And Joe Madden obviously knew him from the days when they were both in the Angels organization. Madden started his coaching career in the minor leagues with the Angels in the early 80s. Came to the big leagues as a bullpen coach initially, and graduated all the way up to Mike Scioscia's bench coach. 3-1 to Rodriguez. Bounced. Cecil with a good play is able to retire Sean Rodriguez, but Tampa Bay adds a run in the second. Rays lead it 7-1.
Bay player. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp Aquos with Quatron technology. You have to see it to see it.
Tampa Bay out in front 7-1. Blue Jays set to hit here in the second. Be Hill, Lind, and Buck to face James Shields. Shields gave up a run, an unearned run in the first inning. Shields is an interesting pitcher in that he truly is a consummate pitcher. Changes speeds, works to both sides of the plate, and he has a very good changeup. That's always been something he can rely on. High fly ball to left field, but Carl Crawford's got a beat on. Hill's retired.
And he's got command of all four of those pitches that he throws. Fastball, he'll mix in a curveball every now and then, and two different types of change-ups. That's why he has issued just over 2 walks per 9 innings, which is the 10th best ratio in the American League. The flip side of that is be ready to swing it. You know he's going to be around the plate. Guess right, sit on a pitch, and get yourself a good rip.
Shields is 28 years old. It's actually signed through 11 seasons with options that will take him all the way through 14. Another pop-up a mile high. This one into center field. B.J. Upton is there.
You know, another thing about James Shields, he's a fly ball type of pitcher, even with that changeup. And those fly balls can turn into home runs. Since 2007, James Shields has given up the most home runs in the American League.
You look at the 5 pitchers on that list, what they all have in common is they throw a lot of fastballs and they throw a lot of strikes.
Guthrie, same type of pitcher. Santana, Kevin Millwood. You're right, all of them around the plate.
John Buck, the catcher. Looks at a first pitch strike. Ball and a strike. Shields was a 16th round pick in 2000. And the perception is that Rays have nothing but #1 picks because they had such a losing history early in their franchise history. But Shields is a good example of scouting and development. There's a good changeup.
That's true for, you know, the David Prices and B.J. Uptons, all of them. They were all high draft picks. Carl Crawford's a 2nd round draft pick. Somebody did something right there. They've also had great scouting, and they've made some very astute trades to pick up talent.
Matt Garza, Jason Bartlett coming over to Tampa Bay in exchange for Delman Young, and Delman Young has finally realized his potential with the Twins. So there's another great example of a trade working out for both teams. Garza is an impact starter along with David Price, who has maybe become the most dominant left-hander in baseball. James Shields strikes out John Buck. He's retired 4 in a row. Had a 1-2-3 second. Tampa Bay way out in front early. Gaston for an outstanding career as a hitting coach and a great manager here in Toronto. The first 35,000 will receive a commemorative ticket honoring Cedars' career with the Blue Jays. For more information and tickets, you can log on to BlueJays.com. You can stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets, or you can call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234.
You know, I forgot he was your hitting coach when you were a manager here.
He doesn't claim that. He does not own up to that. No.
There were some big home run hitting teams.
Yeah, he is quite a hitting coach, obviously, and he still has an impact on hitters. But he was here. I came here in 1981, in May of '81. Then we went on a strike, and then when Bobby Cox came over, he brought Cito Gaston with him. Rocco Baldelli had a 2-run double his first time up. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, it's interesting you say that. Cito Gaston said today that the team he took over in 1989 was the team he knew best, because as a coach, players tended to approach a coach a little more often than the manager, and so now he really leans on his coaches for that type of communication.
Rocco Baldelli takes the walk, starts things off here in the 3rd inning. And Cito Gaston's coming out of the dugout, and this is probably going to be it for Brett Cecil. Some nights you just don't have it.
And tonight was one of them for Brett Cecil. First inning, 6 runs, 5 hits, another run in 3 innings, and 3 hits last inning. And then the leadoff walk.
Well, Cecil's night is a short one. Blue Jays trail 7-1. Josh Renicky will come on here in the 3rd inning. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners.
12th game of the season for Josh Renicky. He pitched a couple of nights ago, an inning. Just recalled from the minor leagues. This is just his 3rd game since being recalled. An inning and 2 hits and a run in his last time out. He's got a good fastball, good arm. He'll sink the fastball, a little bit of a curveball also.
Baldelli at first, Ben Zobrist hit a 2-run home run to left field his first time up. His 10th of the season.
Ben Zobrist is another one of those players whose numbers are down this year as opposed to last year. Last year at this time, Ben had 23 home runs. Some great production for the Rays.
He was an all-star a year ago. A guy that really blossomed. Got a chance to play everywhere on the field. Got regular at-bats. Got 501 at-bats during the regular season.
He's a grinder. A guy will go out there and just grind at bats, plays the game the right way. He can play all over. This is a Tampa Bay team, their roster that was put together for the season, a 25-man roster. Seemed like they had a lot more with all these great players.
Overbay to second, back to first, double play. That was a slick double play. Renicky gets Zobrist to hit a sharp ground ball right to Overbay. Then it was academic.
When you come off that bag as a first baseman, you've got to be ready, especially with that left-handed hitter. Catch the ball, make a good throw, and then go find the bag. You can't keep watching the baseball. You got to find the bag first, and Overbay does it as well as anybody in the league. As soon as he caught that ball, you knew that was two. Possesses a very strong and accurate arm for a first baseman.
Number 9 hitter Kelly Shopik swings at the first pitch and pops it foul. Well, Blue Jays done a heck of a job of turning double plays lately. They turned 8 against Texas in the 4-game series.
And it looks pretty when Escobar throws that ball because he's got such a cannon for an arm.
Boy, Escobar has really been working hard the last few days trying to refine some mechanical issues. Well, there's a good breaking ball from Renicky.
He has a good breaking ball. Problem that Josh has had is he hasn't been able to command it as well as he would like. But once he does, to complement that good fastball, and he's starting to sink that fastball a little bit more, you'll see a lot of strikeouts.
There's a strikeout. Renicky comes out of the bullpen, gets a double play and a strikeout to end the third. Good breaking ball gets Kelly Shopik, who goes down for a second time. Was charged with 7 earned runs. There's 54 pitches, and the Rays jumped on him early.
Yeah, couldn't get that fastball down. B.J. Upson started it with that single to center field. They would go on to add 4 more hits and 6 runs in that first inning. Cito Gaston goes to the bullpen very quickly to get his starter out there and get him ready for his next start.
That curveball from James Shields. He's out in front of Travis Snyder. Snyder's coming around a bit. He suffered a tough injury, a wrist injury, back in May when he was really swinging the bat better than anybody on the team.
Boy, he was hitting the ball from foul line to foul line with authority. Hardly any bloops in that bat from Travis Snyder earlier in the year. Talked to him today and said James Shields is going to be around the plate. He goes, I'm going to be ready to swing.
A ball and 2 strikes. He's ready to swing there and drives it to the gap in center field. That'll go all the way to the wall. Snyder around first. He will stop at second base. Put a great swing on that fastball and drove it to center field. A leadoff double here in the third.
Now 11 extra base hits that's being recalled for Travis Snider. Shows you the type of power that he possesses. He'll stay back on this changeup. And with his hands, a half swing. This ball is a line drive. Shows you the type of power that he possesses in the gap in right center field. Gets it by B.J. Upton for extra bases.
Out in front with his hands and drove the ball on the line. Dwayne Wise to left field. Carl Crawford coming over and makes the catch.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Shortstop Junel Escobar scored the Blue Jays run. He reached on an error by the third baseman, Evan Longoria. Snider at second, one out. A high breaking ball. A long road back for the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay scored 6 in the first. Base hit right field. Zobrist comes up throwing. Snider has to stop at third. Well, that was a pretty swing.
Yeah, it certainly was. He was aboard last time on an error and now a single. And against James Shield back on August the 7th, this is what the Blue Jays did. This was the J.P. Arancibia show for the most part. Homered his first time up. Aaron Hill got into the act. Edwin Encarnacion also. And what new? Jose Bautista goes large also. All told, 6 home runs, which ties a modern-day record for most home runs given up in a game. You add up the 4 walks in that game. Blue Jays got Shield 94 pitches he threw in 4 innings.
You have to be a good pitcher to give up 6 home runs for your manager to keep you in the ball game.
At the time, I remember that game, their bullpen was really worn down.
Yep.
And Neil Madden was really hoping that Shields can get him a little bit more. That's why he left him out there. It took him 94 pitches through those 4 innings.
And that's my point. Madden knew full well that Shields could handle it, and hopefully he could get things straightened around. Bautista takes the breaking ball in the dirt. Yeah, if you're not an established pitcher and you give up 2 or 3 home runs, you're going to hit the showers.
He's done it for him before. Player James Shields that has averaged about 12 or 13 wins over the last 4 seasons. They know what they have in him, a big game player.
Ball on the strike. Runners at the corners. Number 44 for Bautista came in last night's game. He's 11 ahead of Miguel Cabrera and Paul Konerko. Josh Hamilton still on the pines with that rib injury. Mark Teixeira, the Yankees, has come on with a great second half. Popped out of play, back behind the screen. Escobar with the single to right. Snider doubled to center. Bautista does a great job of not chasing.
Fighting to get it back to an even count of 2-2. You know they can't throw the fastball by him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bounced foul, stays alive.
He'll pick up his strikeouts every now and then. For a great slugger, he gets a lot of walks. and very few strikeouts. He's got a very good idea at the plate of what he wants to do, sticks with his plan. He'll change along with that pitcher during the at-bat.
Pops this one back out of play. We showed you the graphic of the 44 home runs. He's 11 ahead of Canerco and Cabrera. Jim Rice, Cecil Fielder, and Ken Griffey Jr. all led the American League by 12 home runs in those respective years when they won the home run crown. 78 for Rice, 99 for Fielder, and 97 for Griffey Jr. Albert Bell in 95 hit 10 more than Jay Buhner, who was second. And David Ortiz in 2006 hit 10 more than Jermaine Dye.
Shows you what truly is a great year for Bautista.
Stays alive. Shopik had it rattle off his glove. Another 2-2 pitch to Jose Bautista. Quite a battle.
Another record that he is chasing this season. Carlos Delgado has the team record for most home runs here at Rogers Center in a season. He did that back in 2000 when he had that great season. Jose Bautista is just 2 off that pace.
And something to think about as well. Bautista had 3 home games moved from this ballpark to Philadelphia. Right now, James Shields can't figure out how to put away Bautista. This is generally when a pitcher will make a mistake.
He has tried changeup, changeup, changeup. You figure at some point he's going to try a high fastball. At some point in this at bat. And if he misses, go back to that changeup, 3-2.
That was the high fastball. Does he tempt fade again and go right back to it?
See, this is where I always had a problem as a hitter. I knew that he was thinking, but I didn't know if he would double up on that or go back to a changeup. And if you're good enough, you can look for a changeup and be wary of that fastball.
Shields not sure what he wants to do. Shook off the fastball, shook off the changeup, and shook off the breaking ball.
I think he was just shaking and shaking and shaking just to put Bautista thinking.
Yeah, just to make him pause. 2-2. Curveball. Full count. Boy, it's been an impressive at bat for Bautista. Snyder got everything started with a double to center field, and after 1 out, Junel Escobar ripped a single into right. Full count pitch to Bautista. Another pop back out of play. I don't think people that don't have an opportunity to get to know Jose Bautista understand what a competitor he is, how much pride he is drawn out of this season, and how he doesn't expect it to be a fluke.
I don't expect it to be a fluke.
15th pitch of the at-bat is fouled out.
That's a great example right there, that swing just to keep an at-bat alive. Tough pitch from James Shields, down and away. He just fouls it off to get one more.
11 foul balls in this at-bat. That's popped into right field. Snyder is tagging. It's not deep. Zobrist comes up throwing. Snyder's pushing his luck down to home. Bowls over Shopik. And he is tagged out at the plate. Then Zobrist throws out Travis Snyder. Bautista with a long battle. Just didn't hit it deep enough to right.
block. No place really for Travis Snyder to slide. Covers up, knows that there's going to be a collision. And the football instincts from Travis Snyder, tries to take out the catcher.
Brian Butterfield in the dugout. It was awfully shallow, and that might be the point of this conversation, was in fact Butterfield was saying don't go, and Snyder mistook it for go, because it certainly wasn't deep enough to run in that situation. There's a drive to left. B.J. Upton has just hit a monster home run to the third deck in left. Number 17. Everything we heard about Tampa Bay's bats heating up appears to be true.
Not just keeping the ball in the ballpark, but the power strokes are starting to come around now. B.J. Upton homers for the 4th time in his last 5 games. There's no doubt about it. Right into the sweet swing of Upton. Gets his 2nd hit. That ball clanged around into the 2nd deck. The fan says,
Jason Bartlett scored twice, reached on a fielder's choice, and hit a double. 8-1 Tampa Bay. 9 hits already for the Rays. B.J. Upton has always had timing issues as far as getting that foot down, but it looks like the timing's pretty good right now.
Something that they started working on in spring training is getting that front foot down just a little bit sooner.
Three balls and a strike to the shortstop, Jason Bartlett. Josh Renicky came on the game with nobody out in the 3rd, a base runner run. He got a double play and a strikeout to end the inning. Popped up into shallow left field. Escobar backs up and calls for it. Getting back to this tying up situation, Butterfield coming over to verbally tell Snyder. And it was very shallow. It was a pop-up in right. And your club is down by 6 runs at that point. And then Butterfield had a conversation with Snyder after the inning. But it is kind of surprising at that point. You almost have to be 100% certain you can score when your team is down by that.
Yeah, you're down by 6 runs at the time.
Carl Crawford, he's looking at free agency at the end of this season. That will be a tough day in Rays history when they have to bid adieu to Carl Crawford.
That's where baseball has to figure out a way.
Bouncing ball up the first baseline, but it'll take Overbay right to the bag, and Crawford's retired.
Where the organizations like the Tampa Bays and the Milwaukees and the Pittsburghs and some of those other organizations have to be able to keep their players. And I don't know what the answer is.
Well, it's a combination of issues in Tampa Bay, obviously. When you look at their free agents, possibly at the end of the season, Crawford, Rafael Soriano with 41 saves, and their great first baseman, Carlos Pena. And it's an ongoing issue, obviously, and sure, you'd like to see everybody be able to maintain the consistency. But at the same time, Tampa Bay is challenged by their ballpark. Location's not good, facility's not great. People haven't come out.
If they had a good ballpark and people came out, do you think they could still keep them?
I do. I think the revenues would increase. They have a terrific TV and radio package. They really watch on television, yes, and they listen on the radio, and fans have interest. I just think coming from where they are, as Longoria hits one down the right field line, Wise on the run, reaches up and makes a nice running catch. Ball was coming quickly to Dwayne Wise, but he stayed with it. Longoria flies out to right field, but the Rays had a run. B.J. Upton, a solo shot, his 17th. It's 8-1 Rays.
and a 40-inch sharp Aquos Quatron TV Plus Blu-ray player. Quatron, it's 4 colors, not 3. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
Blue Jays batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tampa Bay has jumped all over the Blue Jays tonight early in this game. They lead 8-1. Vernon Wells had an RBI single. Ripped it into right field back in the first. Brett Cecil had a tough start tonight. His ERA went from 3.76 to 4.12. Just 2+ a batter tonight.
He had one of the best earned run averages in the American League East versus American League East teams this year. Coming into this one, only Felix Hernandez, Clay Buchholz, and C.J. Wilson had a better earned run average than Brett Cecil.
3 balls and a strike to Wells.
Those are some pretty decent pitchers that he was matched up against.
Well, I think one thing we pointed out in the open was how well this Blue Jays team has played in the second half and playing against New York and Tampa Bay. That's popped up behind the screen. But the fact of the matter is, you have to figure out how to play like that against everyone. That's the difference between the championship clubs and the also-rans. When you look at the Yankees and the way they have played against sub-500 teams this year, they're 51-23 against the have-nots. Deep to shortstop, Bartlett in a hurry on time. But the learning process continues for this young team. Brian Butterfield's the third base coach, and he and Travis Snyder still having a conversation. And you got to believe it goes back to the tag at third base.
Go, 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 or no.
You got to change that. You have to make them definitive. I said no, and you thought I said go, go, go. And that's more than likely the basis of that conversation.
You were talking about the good teams pounding the teams that you're supposed to.
Yeah. You know, and you played on a lot of good teams. Kansas City, Toronto, and when you would go into that second division, play that second division ball club, you'd wear them out.
You're not thinking about 2 out of 3.
No.
You're thinking about getting swept. I've seen it from both sides. I played on some Indians teams that would lose 100 games a year. And when the good ones would come in, boy, they just took it up a notch.
Yeah, when Milwaukee came into play, when the Tigers came into play, you had no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Overbay hits it into right field. That'll get down for a hit. Zobrist takes it on 2 hops.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
But we talk about the Blue Jays playing so well against the good teams. And they have 44 wins against teams that are 500 or better this year. That's the 3rd most wins in baseball. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah, but just the Rays and the Phillies have more.
The problem for the Blue Jays, they've also lost 47. So they're 3 games under 500 against those 500-plus clubs. While the Rays are 12 over, the Phillies are 12 over, and the Rockies, who have 41 wins, they're 13 games over 500 against the good clubs.
When you play on good teams and you are playing teams that are not very good, the Kansas Cities and the Clevelands, you know you're going to establish the tone.
Well, and you know as a player, you'd talk around the cage. I'm getting 3 tonight. I'm going to get 3 hits tonight. You can get a couple if you want, but I'm getting my 3. And that's the way players talk on good teams.
You know, you used to do that, Dave Winfield. I'm getting mine tonight. Who's pitching tonight? And somebody would say a name. I got him. How many you getting tonight? Joe Carter would say, I'm getting a couple. I mean, that's how you do it. You would have to hammer those type of teams.
And we have seen the opposite from time to time on occasion this year. Good breaking ball gets Aaron Hill. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, I asked Joe Madden about that, and he looked at his 06 and 07 teams and said, yeah, they were good teams. But what happened in 2008 was they started doing that, winning against good teams, teams that they expected to win against, in large part because of the veteran presence. He talked about Troy Percival, he talked about Cliff Floyd and Eric Hinsky, saying that he would not allow, those three players would not allow letdowns from the rest of the team when they went in and played the lesser lights, and that allowed them to maintain a high level of play with teams other than Boston and New York.
Long drive to right field. Adam Lind has just pulled it foul. And you mentioned those names like Cliff Floyd and Eric Hinsky, veteran players. Troy Percival came from the background of winning in California with the Angels. And that's what it takes. You have to have some people on your team that have won. And it has to be players. Players have to push players. Managers and coaches can only do so much. Players are the ones that have to go, we're not accepting this. Adam Lind in a hole, a ball in a strike, and there's a ball down the right field line again. He's out in front of Shields.
You know, for me, it's like good hitters hit good pitchers. Good teams beat other good teams and pound the bad ones.
Yeah.
I mean, there are hitters in the big leagues who are good hitters, but they can't hit good pitching. But there are also very good hitters who can hit those tough pitchers, especially when it counts and the game is on the line.
Driven into center field and deep. This ball is carrying. This ball is gone. Adam Lind made a couple of shots down the right field line and takes James Shields deep to center. Number 21.
That's 5 home runs now in his career against James Shields for Adam Lind, and that's a no doubt about it to dead center field. Shields knew it as soon as he let go of the pitch. He bit a couple of times down the right field line. Shields tries to slip a fastball by him, and he knew it as soon as he hit it that ball was gone.
12 straight games now for the Blue Jays with a home run. 21 on the season for Lind. He now has 66 RBI.
I don't care what the count is, the first pitch, you're ahead or behind, this team is ready and sitting on pitches.
It's the 4th inning. Lots of outs to be had. John Buck fouls it off. When you look at the Yankees, and of course the Yankees are leading the American League East, they're only 6 games over 500 against the good teams. 36-30. But they are wearing out those weak sisters. Good changeup in the dirt. John Buck runs to first, and Shopik throws him out. But the Blue Jays cut into the Rays' big lead. Adam Lind with a 2-run shot to center. Tampa Bay still leads by 5.
Sharp has awarded one lucky winner a 40-inch Quadron TV and Blu-ray player. Quadron, you have to see it to see it. To see if you have won or to enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
Adam Lind, his 21st of the season, has cut into that big Rays lead. Lind now has 21 home runs and 66 RBI. Closing in on respectability after a dismal start to his season.
He'll get to 25 home runs.
We count up 25 home runs, done 25 times around the big leagues. Only 25 players had 25 or more home runs. Carlos Pena will hit into the dramatic shift now with the right-hander Josh Renicky. Bounce this one foul. Pena has gone down swinging twice here tonight. Josh Renicky in his third inning of relief. Came into the game with nobody out in the third inning. Pena pops this one up. Aaron Hill is in shallow right field and makes the catch.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Sean Rodriguez, who's second baseman now with one out in the fifth.
He was hitting last time, and we started talking about his versatility and the way that this team was put together. Instead of 25 players, it almost feels like they have 28 or 29 because of the versatility. He has played every position, Sean Rodriguez, except pitcher or catcher this year.
It's so important when you have to carry 12 or 13 pitchers to be able to have versatile players, switch hitters, guys that are versatile defensively. And I think because of that, you're going to see an awful lot more athletes. That ball is skied into center field. Vernon Wells cruises over.
You know where it also helps is their ability to play both the infield and the outfield.
That's huge. Who's the best utility player you think of when we talk about that?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time. Best utility
Somebody
player.
that, you know, you've played against, you've seen play.
Got to go back to the Wayback Machine here.
Guy that could play infield and outfield.
Back in the 80s, 70s?
The 80s? I'll throw a name at it. I'll give you an idea.
I can tell you have somebody on your mind.
Yeah. How about Tony Phillips?
Thank you.
Yes. Tony Phillips was the consummate player. If you had a Tony Phillips nowadays, he'd be invaluable. Could play every day and start in a different position every day.
Can play the corner for you.
Switch hit.
Switch hit.
Speed. And tough. Tough as nails.
Mm-hmm.
Would fight you to win.
Mm-hmm. I think the Rays have that in Ben Zobrist. Switch hitter. Can run. Can play corner positions. Can also play the middle like Tony could.
Baldelli goes too far. 2-2. Zobrist certainly starting to show signs that he's turning things around here of late. With his 10th home run and his first at bat, a 2-run shot. He's got 65 ribbies. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baldelli goes down on the curveball. Good bounce back inning for Josh Renicky. Blue Jays have cut into the lead. Renicky comes up with a big strikeout on the hook. Wade Davis 11-9. Last time we saw Wade Davis, pitched a great game. 7 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs against the Blue Jays down in St. Petersburg. He beat Brett Cecil in that game. Blue Jays trying to claw their way back into this game. Travis Snyder hits a high fly ball into shallow center field. B.J. Upton is there. 1 pitch, 1 out. The Rays trying to get things sorted out. They're not ready to proclaim themselves a postseason team just yet. But they have a comfortable lead over the Red Sox in the wild card race. Boston trails 6.5 in the wild card race.
It looks comfortable to us, but I don't think it looks comfortable from where Joe Madden is.
You have seen things unravel in a much shorter span over the history of the game. But they'd like to get their starting pitching sorted out.
You know, they still have, and I don't want to say they're going to win the wild card, because I still think they have a chance of winning the division, and I'm sure everybody in that dugout believes the same thing. They still have 7 games against the Yankees.
Yeah, they will go home to play the Yankees in a 3-game series after this set. Then they have an off day. The Angels come to Tropicana Field. And then they go to New York for a 4-game series. So you can see the standings. They're 2 back in the loss column of the Yankees, and that's what they have on their mind, winning the division.
Because if you win this division, I think you have home field advantage throughout.
Hard ground ball to second. 2 outs. If the playoffs were to begin today, this is the way they would match up. Texas would take on the Yankees, the Rays, and the Twins. I don't know about you. The Rays and the Twins would be some series.
2 teams that are very similar. They use a lot of speed.
National League, Padres at the Phillies. Phillies are red hot right now. Braves are got their fingernails into the chalkboard right now, trying to hold on. Cincinnati, they had a terrible time in Colorado. Lost 4 straight in Colorado. Second time in 2 years they have lost 4 games over Labor Day in Colorado. Escobar, one hops it off the glove of Bartlett. Goes into left field, and Bartlett retrieves it. It'll be a base hit for Escobar. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's reached base 3 times.
Junel is smoking the ball all over the place. This is a ball that's got some top spin that really handcuffs Jason Bartlett, the shortstop. Single to right field last time. That time hits a bullet right at the shortstop.
Well, you're 1 swing away from making this game interesting. And you got the right guy at the plate. Jose Bautista. Bautista had a 15-pitch at bat last time up in the 3rd. Hit a shallow fly ball to right field, and Snyder was doubled up at the plate. Pops this one up, back over the screen.
Well, he saw every pitch from James Shields his last time up. And one of the things I like about Jose Bautista, how he dares you to throw that ball inside. He is right on top of the plate. Look at his hands. Draw a line straight down, and it's on the inside part of the plate. He's got plate coverage, and he's not afraid to get on there. Get on top of that plate and just dare you to challenge him inside.
Ball on the strike. If you look at it from a pitcher's perspective, the way James Shields does, when a hitter is standing on the plate, there's no place for you to pitch. You just can't see any good areas in that zone there. Where can I pitch him? His hands are over the plate. I can't get it inside. He's too quick. So you bounce it down and away.
Yeah,
but it's a tough visual.
If I try to go outside, he's on top of the plate. He can cover that.
It's a good off-speed pitch. But I think pitchers really have trouble with guys that stand on top of the plate. Of course, you have to be quick enough to get to that fastball.
Right, if you got slow bats, it doesn't make any sense to get on top of that plate. But Bautista's very quick on the inner half.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball left field. This ball is carried. This ball is going. It is gone. 2-run home run, Jose Bautista, number 45. We got a ball game.
He tried to go back in there. Just watched the catcher, Kelly Shopik, set up on the inside part of the plate. And you've got to be almost perfect to throw it in there to a hitter like that. Bam.
No place to go. 8-5. Tampa Bay. Two more home runs tonight. Another multi-home run game for the Blue Jays. Popped up left side of the infield, drifting into foul ground. Longoria is there, makes the catch. The Rays get out of the 5th inning. But not before Jose Bautista touches up James Shields. A 2-run shot to left, his 45th. Drives home 2 more. He now has 108 RBIs on the season, and the Blue Jays are within 3. So with that, Cito Gaston will go to the bullpen. Good job by Josh Renicky. 3 innings. He allowed 1 hit and 1 run. He'll turn things over to Casey Janssen.
That ties his career high in innings pitched in a game. He set that last year against Boston. Equaled it here tonight. Very good innings. Turns it over to Casey Janssen, the strikeout man. Almost a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio for Janssen. Janssen pitched a couple of days ago against Texas. Threw it in and gave up a hit in that game.
Head off speed pitch, but it missed down and away. Jansen's had a tough go of it against Tampa Bay this year. This is his 7th appearance against the Rays. He's worked a total of 3 2/3 innings and has given up 6 earned runs. Falls behind Zobrist 3-0. This is a big inning in this ball game after the Blue Jays have closed the gap. There's a strike. A leadoff walk to Zobrist. Now don't be surprised if Joe Madden doesn't go back to the short game. play hit and run, maybe even sacrifice here, trying to regain the lead. He and Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, having a little exchange about where they go from here. They're in the 6th inning now.
You know, when you jump out to a big lead like that, the team slowly starts to come back. All you want to do as a manager is just get 1 run. Just stop the bleeding. Play, I'll get 1. That means you got to get 2 to beat me.
Stem the tide. Dave Martinez, the bench coach, has become a very worthy lieutenant for Joe Matt. Hit into right field. Wise coming in, makes the catch. 1 out. Now it's important to continue the offensive momentum that you mentioned, and for Casey Janssen to get his team back on the bench and up to the plate.
When you face a team like that, you want to try and lull them to sleep. Bring your bullpen out there, start throwing up some zeros. Chip away at that lead like the Blue Jays have been doing the last couple of innings, and then take your chances in the later parts of the game.
B.J. Upton's had a big night already. 2 hits, a home run, scored a run. For Upton, his 17th home run of the season, and he looks much more dangerous right now than we've seen him at any point of the season.
He always looked like he was out of whack a little bit. Got beat by fastballs. You know, the timing was just not there. But now he's starting his swing a little bit earlier. He is getting ready.
It's all about rhythm and timing, and of course the pitcher's goal is to disrupt that rhythm. Close at first. Good tag by Overbay. Zobrist just back in time.
Zobrist is one of those players you were talking about earlier who has the ability to steal. Casey Janssen is very quick over to first base. That is right on the money.
Left-hander is Jesse Carlson. The right-hander is Sean Kemp. And there is a full complement of pitchers. That's a big crowd down there in that bullpen now.
Not enough chairs out there.
Jansen is the second reliever to work here tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays have already turned 1 double play tonight. A couple of new bodies added to that bullpen. Brad Mills and Taylor Buchholz just joined the ball club. Wow. Just missed down and away.
That's when Casey Janssen is at his best, when he is down and away to right-handers. He just missed that pitch to Upton. Looked like it fooled him a little bit. Snuck up on him.
2-2. Be a full count. You have to believe that they're going to start Zobrist here, even though Upton is prone to the strikeout. By starting the runner, you'll create some movement on the infield, maybe open up a hole.
137 strikeouts for B.J. Upton this year, which leads the team.
Full count, 1 out. There goes Zobrist. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base is high into center. Zobrist moves to third. John Buck will be charged with the error. It'll be a stolen base and an error. The strikeout of Upton, second out of the inning.
Zobrist has an outstanding steal percentage. This is stolen base number 24. It's only been thrown out 3 times all season long. John Buck floats that one into center field. Had to throw around B.J. Upton. Zobrist makes it over to third base for Bartlett.
You see Bautista in even with the bag at third. Good curveball from Jansen. Bautista guarding against Bartlett, dropping one down the line. He'll stay there until he gets 2 strikes. 2 outs. Casey Jansen is a drop and drive pitcher. Kind of pushes the ball to the plate. And he can be very good with his command. But if he can stay a little taller, he'd create a more deceptive angle.
The one thing you want to get away from, where you want to stay away from as a drop and drive type of pitcher, is dropping your arm. When you have a drop and drive type of pitcher, that's a guy who really uses his legs and gets his legs into it. You really have to concentrate on staying on top of the ball. A lot of times as you drive towards home plate, the arm doesn't catch up and it gets underneath the ball.
2-1 to Bartlett.
So I say he's at his best when he is working down and that ball is down on the corner. Pumping strikes in there.
Yep. He's got good control. Every once in a while he'll drop that elbow and push the ball to the plate. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs, man at third. 2-out walk issued to Bartlett. Cito Gaston quickly out of the bullpen. He's got Jesse Carlson ready down in that bullpen and certainly has plenty of arms tonight. Trying to keep his team in this ball game. So Casey Jansen will work 2/3 of an innings, and he walks 2 batters in this inning. So with Carl Crawford scheduled to hit, Cito Gaston will go to the bullpen and call on Jesse Carlson. Ball here in the 6th inning. He brings on Jesse Carlson. Carlson making his 11th appearance, and he has had success against Carl Crawford. Crawford is 0 for 5 against Jesse Carlson.
You can do that in September with all those arms down there. Match up baseball from here on out. He has done a good job against left-handers. That's his job right here. Left on left. Retire a very hot hitter in Carl Crawford. He has given up 2 hits in 13 at-bats versus lefties this year. And Crawford, just a .250 hitter versus left-handers.
There are the numbers we had mentioned. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Foul back. Junel Escobar, the shortstop, and Bautista, the third baseman, are basically a double play depth to protect against the speed of Crawford. Bounced on the ground. That's going to be a tough play. Force out at second. They get him. What a good play by Aaron Hill. Escobar was there, and Carlson gets out of it. The Blue Jays strand a couple of base runners, and they keep it a 3-run game. There was nowhere to go to first to get Crawford. They go to second for the force out. Didn't walk anybody, but once again the home run proves costly. He gave up 2 more home runs to the Jays here tonight.
2-run home run by Lynn, scored a couple, and then the 2-run home run by Bautista last inning. This is his season totals versus the Blue Jays. 9 innings, 12 earned runs, 8 home runs allowed. So he pitches 5 innings. He is in line for the win. And now it's up to the bullpen for Tampa Bay. The first guy out is the only lefty that Joe Maddon has, and that'll be Randy Choate. Very interesting this early.
It sure is interesting, but you talk about stemming the tide. This might be a momentum move by Joe Maddon. With Overbay leading off, you've got 2 of the next 3 batters are left-handed hitters. You only have Choate for 1 shot during the course of a game, and Maddon thinks this is his best shot.
Here, and then maybe a couple innings before you have to face these lefties again. Maybe your offense scores a couple runs and widens it out.
Blue Jays have outscored the Rays since the top of the first, 5-2. Overbay lifts it into center field, but not deep. 1 out. Boy, Choate's done a heck of a job for Joe Maddon this year. No J.P. Howell all year long. Howell was such an important part of their team in 08. And he's been out with injury, and Choate has certainly stepped up.
Yeah, Howell was outstanding. You could pitch him as a setup man, as a closer, as a long man, as a lefty specialist. He was so important to this team. So they needed somebody to step up, and this has been Choate. He has been tough on left-handers all season long. Giving up just 22 hits in a home run. That's it against lefties all season long.
And this is why you take a shot. You've got lefty, righty, lefty. Even if Hill hits a home run, you still got a chance to come out of the situation with 2 outs.
Force the hand, if you will, also as you get down to the bottom of the lineup. '73 appearances.
Popped up down the right field line. That's a foul ball.
Choate leads the American League now in appearances. Again, a lefty specialist. 27 of those appearances were for just 1 batter. I think they are looking for an inning tonight.
He is 7 more games ahead of Phil Koch, who's second in appearances. It shows you how frequently they lean on Choate. Bounce to third, just foul. Grant Balfour back off the disabled list. He had a strained oblique muscle, and he is raring to go again. He's pitched in. The velocity's there. He didn't have his location just yet, but he's an important cog in this bullpen.
He certainly is. When you have a Soriano at the back end of the bullpen, pushes everybody down, and now Joe Madden can use Grant Balfour instead of the 9th inning or the 8th inning. He can bring him in the 6th or the 7th inning. He was telling me earlier this year that 7th inning, he has just been dominating that inning for him.
Interesting picture of a manager contemplating his next move. Randy Choate makes it easy as he strikes out Aaron Hill, second out of the inning.
Sneaks a ball by him. Stays up in the zone, and Aaron swings right through it.
Adam Lind hit a deep home run to center field his last at bat. That came against James Shield. There you see that wicked breaking ball.
And he has been awfully tough on Adam Lind on his career. He has faced him 15 times already. Adam only has one hit to show for it.
You can see that front foot gets a little jumpy when Choate comes to that sidearm delivery. Tough to hang in there.
7 of those 15 outs on strikeouts. You know you're going to get that breaking ball. Try and drive it to left center.
Ball caught the inside corner. Choate's in here making some quality pitches. Joe Madden rolled the dice to use his only left-hander here in the 6th. Got it. Good breaking ball, and Choate comes in, has a 1-2-3 6th inning. Rays still up by 3. Blue Jay fans here taking on a Friday night ball game. Tampa Bay in town, and they have seen a slugfest so far. 13 runs on 16 hits. They're sitting in those great seats courtesy of TD Canada Trust. The 4th reliever on out of the bullpen will be Jason Frazier. Casey Jansen got in some trouble, walked a couple, but Jesse Carlson came on to retire Carl Crawford and hold the Rays off the scoreboard yet another half inning. So Frazier will try to continue to do the same.
Got a tough hitter in Carl Crawford to Jesse Carlson. Good play by Hill and Escobar in the middle. And now Jason Frazier on. Same thing Cito Gaston is looking for that his counterpart Joe Madden got from his release last inning. Matchups and a quick inning. That's what he's looking for.
You got the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the order. Longoria 2 for 3. He was robbed of his third hit on a nice running play by Dwayne Wise down in the right field corner. That ended the 4th inning. Longoria hit a slicing line drive down on the warning track in the right field corner, and Wise ran it down. On the ground, Bautista with a dive to his feet, skips it to Overbay in time. What a play. Yep, he's my third baseman.
Yeah. There's your athletic ability right there from a third baseman. You've got power, you've got a great arm, and you've got a very good glove. Watch how quickly he reacts, dives, and gets up. This is a planned throw right here. The one-hop bounce where Lyle Overbay can stretch out there and make the play. Very quickly, very nicely done by Jose Bautista.
So Bautista makes a good play. Carlos Pena 0 for 3. This game is far from being over.
And I think both managers know it.
They have seen this act before. These teams have played each other tough all year long. Tampa Bay holds an 8-7 advantage in the season series.
They've had a couple of wins where they have really snatched a victory from the Blue Jays this year.
High fly ball right field. Wise drifting with it on the track at the wall. He's got room and makes the catch. Pena just got under it and it stayed in the ballpark. 2 outs here in the 7th.
He's got great power. Pena, he can hit this high fastball. It looked like one of those high lazy fly balls, but it just doesn't reach the wall. Ballpark holds it.
2 quick outs by Frazier, looking to close out the 7th. Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman. Ball on the strike. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, it is 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays. John Buck, Travis Snyder, and Dwayne Wise. There's a strike. A ball and 2 strikes. Center field. Wells is there. Frazier gets out of it. A 1-2-3 7th inning by Jason Frazier. Blue Jay batters will go back to work. They trail by 3. Facebook. Become a fan of the Blue Jays on your Facebook page. Receive game scores, roster moves, lineups, roof status, and ticket offers straight from the Blue Jays. Facebook.com/Blue Jays for more details. Randy Choate stays on to face John Buck. And why not? A 1-2-3 6th inning with a pair of strikeouts.
Very quick hitting for Choate. You got John Buck and then a couple of left-handers, so it'll be interesting to see how both Joe Maddon and Cito Gaston play it.
I think that's the one thing that's really interesting about Joe Maddon. Percentages suggest you go Grant Balfour here. You say Choate, he did his job. But Maddon's unpredictable.
Thinks outside the box. That's what I like about him.
Look at him studying that matchup sheet, too.
All over it.
John Buck has not faced Randy Choate. Dave Martinez, he's got his matchup sheet. So they're in concert. What do you think? Well, he's not seen Choate. Let's let him face him. Then you got Snyder. Tried to go backdoor with a breaking ball. Yankees are leading the Texas Rangers 3-1, top of the third. Of course, that has the Rays' attention. Tampa Bay trailing the Yankees by 2.5.
Javi Vasquez pitching for the Yankees, matched up against C.J. Wilson in that one.
2-2 to Buck. Fouled off. Tell you what, the Blue Jays got the Rangers bats going in the last 2 games. Vladdy Guerrero, Nelson Cruz swinging the hot bats.
Michael Young.
Texas trying to prove to themselves they can handle the Yankees. They might meet up in the postseason. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Rangers have their best pitchers in the series. C.J. Wilson tonight, Tommy Hunter tomorrow, and Cliff Lee on Sunday. So they're giving the Yankees their best shot. There was speculation that Elvis Andrus would play tonight. We'll check on that. Cleveland beat the Twins 2-0. There's the Yankees score. There's a drive to center field. This ball is crushed. Home run, John Buck. Another 3-home run game for the Blue Jays. Number 18 for Buck ties his career high.
That ball was hammered to right field. You want to talk about matchups? How about John Buck versus left-handed pitching this year? 429 with 5, now make it 6 of those 18 home runs against left-handed pitching. Tried to slip a fastball by him. Buck homered last series to right field. A controversial home run right off the bullpen bench. This time, no controversy as that ball's hammered to right center.
Look at Cito Gaston with that little sheepish smile suggesting, did you get it all? Yeah, I did.
Did he do what I told you he was going to do?
Travis Snyder fouls it back. He's in the hole 0-2. But John Buck, facing Randy Choate for the first time, takes him deep. A career-tying home run, his 18th. He has now tied his career high in home runs, and he's established a new high in RBI. His previous RBI high was 50. Snyder goes down swinging. 1 out here in the 7th. John Buck, opposite field power, and what a job he's done. This is his first year here with the Blue Jays. He and Dwayne Murphy have worked very well together. He has become a leader in a very short period of time on this team. He would be sorely missed if he wasn't here next year.
I know the pitchers like throwing to him. The way he takes control of the game, he and Jose Molina have formed a very nice duel of catchers for the Blue Jays this season.
If all things go the way we think, this should be Choate's last hitter, Dwayne Wise. And there's Molina, the catching partner of John Buck. Wise 3 for 12 against lefty pitching. Three and 0.
Choate's longest outing this year is 2 innings. Not as sharp as he was last inning when he struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced.
Throws a strike. Right on the corner, 3 and 2. Not much Wise could do with that pitch. That was a perfect pitch.
Yeah, you're looking for base runners now. You're trying to get that tying run to the plate. 3 and 1. If you don't like it, go ahead and take it.
Big walk. Good at bat by Dwayne Wise. That will bring the potential tying run to the plate and bring Joe Madden out of the dugout. He calls for the right-hander. He's got 2 guys throwing, but I believe it's Balfour. So Randy Choate with the 1-out walk. After giving up the home run to John Buck, they have switched down in the bullpen. Chad Qualls is making his way into this ball game. Randy Choate leaves. After an inning and a third, Big Chad Qualls will come on to face Junel Escobar. To Junel Escobar in the on-deck circle as Chad Qualls completes his warm-ups. Obviously, Escobar giving some information to, or Bautista giving some information to Escobar. This is the 3rd game Qualls has appeared in against the Blue Jays.
Picked him up from the Diamondbacks this season to fortify that bullpen, another power arm.
First pitch strike from Qualls.
Qualls made his Rays debut on August the 1st versus the Yankees. He took the place when Grant Balfour went on the disabled list with that left intercostal strain. 24 saves last year for Arizona. So he has been in these types of situations before.
There goes Wise, bouncing ball. The first Pena has it, flips to Qualls, and he beats Escobar to the bag. That ball bounces a little higher, gets over Pena's head. It's first and third, but Pena made a good play on it.
Yeah, he is a good first baseman. Won the Gold Glove a few years ago. Great jump by Dwayne Wise on that ball. The only player who could have got that one was Pena. That's the only way that the Rays were going to make that out right there.
Now, this is why you pay money to come to a ball game. Chad Qualls facing Jose Bautista with the game on the line. Bautista has already homered tonight.
And he has faced Chad Qualls in his career. A couple of hits, and one of them a long one.
Joe Madden has come out of the Rays dugout. Certainly a thinking man's manager, and he has made the call to the bullpen. So Qualls retires Escobar, and Madden will go to the bullpen. Joaquin Benoit will come out of the bullpen. He will take on Bautista. Bautista is closing in on the Blue Jays franchise home run record. Home runs for a season, 47. Held by George Bell in 87. Bautista with his 45th earlier tonight. Joaquin Benoit.
I think the situation for Joe Madden right now, that the game is not saved in the ninth inning. Sometimes it is saved earlier in the game. This might be one of them right here. Joaquin Benoit has outstanding numbers. 65 strikeouts in 50 innings. Just 9 base on balls. Thinking that this is such a big part of the game, he brings in his 8th inning man, his setup man, who can certainly strike out batters in tough situations.
2 outs. Wise at second base. Asked for time and didn't get it. Takes a strike. Bautista stepped out of the box before the umpire granted his wish.
And he was probably saying, hey, I'll give it to you if I can hear it, if it's quick enough.
So now Bautista has to regroup. No balls in his strike. Swing and a drive. You can forget about this one. 2-run home run, Bautista. We are tied.
Joaquin Benoit possesses a very good fastball. We're talking 96, 97 miles an hour, but that doesn't matter to Jose Bautista. This guy's unbelievable. He turned that fastball around like it was batting practice and sent it soaring to left field.
Vernon Wells, as the crowd wants a curtain call. And why not? On the ground, Bartlett near the bag at second. The Rangers get out of it, but not before Jose Bautista ties it up. A rocket to the seats in left center. Number 46, we are tied at 8. Be this comfortable. Jose Bautista, 2 more home runs tonight. He has 46 on the season. The Blue Jays have pounded out 4 homers, the 65th time they've had a multi-home run game.
By far more than anybody. Boston Red Sox are second at 49. Sean Camp, it's his game now as we are tied in the 8th inning. We have a pinch hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays. Here are Camp's numbers: 41 strikeouts, just 14 walks in 63 innings. Cito Gaston has used him a lot this season.
John Jaso comes off the bench to bat for Rocco Baldelli. 0-2. Jaso's had a good season. 281 average. He's swinging the bat over his last 10 games. Fouled off the shoulder of John Buck. What a comeback. The Blue Jays trailed by 6 after the top half of the first. They have outscored the Rays since then 7-2.
They are never out of a game with their ability to hit home runs. And when these two teams match up, it is so entertaining to watch these games.
It's part of living in the AL East. If you don't want to battle, go home. Joe Madden knows that. That's why he made that move with Choate in the 6th. A ball and 2 strikes.
The Jays have done exactly what we talked about after that top of the first inning. Run here, run there, bullpen come in, start throwing up some zeros, and let's see if the home runs can get us back into the game.
Joaquin Benoit giving up just his 6th home run of the season to Bautista to tie it. They mentioned now he is 13 home runs ahead of Cabrera and Konerko. The previous high was 12, the gap between first and second. Jaso putting up a battle here against Kemp.
That's all time. The largest home run difference between first and second was just 12.
Two and two. Pinch hitter Jaso. No swing down at third. Bill Miller.
Jaso's got a great eye at the plate. He's got a short swing. Joe Madden has used him as a leadoff batter. Checks his swing right there.
Has a grounder to Escobar. He waits on it and guns across the diamond for the out. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Thanks to Jose Bautista's 46th home run in the bottom of the 7th, Sharp has awarded one lucky winner a 52-inch Quatron TV and Blu-ray player. Quatron, just add yellow. To see if you've won or to enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
One out, top of the 8th. Bautista 13 home runs ahead of the second place hitters, Cabrera and Konerko. Previous high was 12, done 3 times. We mentioned Jim Rice, Cecil Fielder, and Ken Griffey all led the American League by 12 home runs. 2-0. We'd mentioned the great second half effort by the Blue Jays against Tampa Bay and New York. 9-6 coming into this game. And that's quite a departure from what we have seen in the past several seasons, winding down the season. And Cito Gaston has to take a measure of pride in the way his team has come back in this game.
Yeah, they have really played the Yankees and they have played the Rays very tough, making them earn every single out in the game.
A 1-out walk to Zobrist. We had mentioned the Blue Jays' ability to come back. The home runs have a lot to do with it. 4 more home runs in the game tonight. The Blue Jays have now hit 222 home runs this season. That's the second most in franchise history. Now another pinch hitter. Looks like Matt Joyce will bat for the catcher, Kelly Shopping. Zobrist thought about running, but chose not to. Matt Joyce done a nice job for Tampa Bay. 8 home runs this season. He's got some power.
Yeah, that's why they gave up a good arm in Edwin Jackson to Detroit to get him over here, thinking one day that he will blossom into a home run hitter.
All of a sudden, Sean Kemp can't find the strike zone.
Joyce has 3 hits this year as a pinch hitter, one of them a home run. He's also had 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
Big swing and a miss, 2-1. Scott Downs, the left-hander. Looks like he is ready, just standing by down in the pen. Plenty of options for both managers here tonight, in the pens and on the bench. Three and 1.
If he throws him one of those good sinkers that he has, and Joyce is in pull mode, he can get the ball on the ground and get out of this inning. He has come up with some very big pitches this year for the Blue Jays.
3-1. He walked him off the glove of Buck. Zobrist has got some speed. Makes a big turn around second, but he'll stop there. Back-to-back one-out walks issued by Sean Kemp. So Buck's going to go out and have a little visit with the right-hander. B.J. Upton makes his way into the batter's box.
This is why the Rays are so tough. They have different ways to beat you. Late in the game, there's no panic in the Rays.
But there's a lot of studying going on.
He's wearing out that card, isn't he?
B.J. Upton, a single and a homer in 4 at-bats. First and second, one out. Back-to-back walks issued by Sean Kemp. Pulls that ball off the plate outside. Jason Bartlett's on deck. Good sinker there. Ball on the strike. Upton's not had much success against Camp. Just 2 for 11. Blue Jays looking for the ground ball. Joyce at first. Zobrist at second.
It's got to be hit hard because Upton can really run. Does not hit into a lot of double plays.
Takes the ball down. Quite a comeback for the Blue Jays tonight. They trailed 6-0 before they swung the bats. Bautista with 2 home runs and 4 RBI. Lind with a 2-run shot. Buck with a solo home run. On the ground but foul. Identical line scores. 8 runs on 9 hits for Tampa Bay and an error. 8 runs on 9 hits and an error for the Blue Jays. And who would have thunk it after the first?
Home run by Zobrist. There was a home run by Upton. They've done it mixing around some base on balls by the Blue Jays tonight also.
Got it. Got it away with the sinker. Kemp comes all the way back to strike out B.J. Upton.
Your ability when you are behind in the count to throw an off-speed pitch is such an advantage. Camp shows that off right there. Change up, down and away. Upton swings over the top of it. A big out here in the 8th inning.
Jason Bartlett, 1 for 3 tonight. We don't often see Camp pitch from behind as much as he has in this inning.
Yeah, strike throwing machine. He has been all season long. He's going to have to make a good pitch against Bartlett.
Gordon by Hill at second base to first for the out. Everything's clicking for the Blue Jays now. Camp walked a couple, but the Rays strained 2. This ball was headed to right. The dive, the glove, the throw by Aaron Hill. Blue Jays are out of the 8th. of the game, presented by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Well, after he takes a pitch for a strike, he unloads Jose Bautista on Joaquin Benoit deep to left field to tie this game up. Blue Jays come all the way back to tie it at 8-8.
John Jaso, the pinch hitter for the DH, Rocco Baldelli, has taken over defensively behind the plate. So the pitcher's spot will be in the 9th spot in the order. And the pitcher will be batting in the lineup. The Rays have given up their DH.
Jaso pinch hit for Rocco Baldelli. Joyce pinch hit for Shopping. Well, Joe Madden pulling out all the stops here tonight.
Thinking outside the box. Ball on the strike. Right at the knees. Up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are in the 8th inning. Whale of a ball game. Tampa Bay jumped out to a 6-0 lead. The Blue Jays have clawed back into it. Popped up into center field. Upton went back initially and comes in to make the catch. 1 out.
Every time now a ball is hit into the outfield, the fans are going wild here. And why not? They've been treated to a great game.
Aaron Hill for 3. Off the plate. Came right back with the same pitch. This one over the plate, and Hill swung and missed. You don't get many at bats against relievers, but Hill is 2 for 4 against Benoit. Longoria dives, gets to his feet in time to get Aaron Hill.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Adam Lind with one of the 4 Blue Jay home runs tonight. His 21st home run came in the 4th. He connected against James Shields. Little off-speed pitch. Benoit gets out in front. Interesting that Benoit would now be inserted into the lineup. He's a 1-inning guy, 1+ at best. So by the time you get to the pitcher spot, you have enough arms and enough bodies that you can pinch hit every time the pitcher spot comes up.
Now we know why Joe Madden has been studying that card as hard as he has been. His whole idea was to get Jaso to lead off and then bring him into the game and take the DH out of the game. Do I have enough arms? Do I have enough bodies? Do I have enough pinch hitters?
On the ground. Rodriguez from shallow right field throws Adam Lind up. Benoit has a good 8th inning. So we will go to the 9th, tied at 8-all. Kevin Gray comes on to face Crawford, Longoria, and Pena. It started with Renicky coming out of the pen. 6 innings of 1-hit relief. Renicky gave up a solo home run to B.J. Upton, and the bullpen has shut down the Rays completely. And now Kevin Gregg to work the ninth.
31 saves and 36 chances for Kevin Gregg. You can't save a game at home in extra innings, so Cito Gaston will bring his big closer in here in the 9th inning.
Carl Crawford lifts it into shallow left center. Snyder's there. 1 pitch, 1 out by Gregg.
That is huge to keep Crawford off the bases.
Pretty good ERA over his last 22 games. And the manager will look at the 9th inning when you're at home and see where you are in the lineup. Obviously 3, 4, and 5. Let's save the game right here, even though it's not a save situation. You bring your closer in to get through this stretch of the lineup.
Take your chances, and then hopefully you hold them down and win it in the bottom of the inning.
Two and 0. Three and 0 to Evan Longoria. Carlos Pena is on deck. Great pitch right on the corner. Came right back with the same pitch, didn't get the call. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, with the expanded rosters here in September, managers lean on their bench coaches even more. I saw Dave Martinez, as the inning started, come down the bench, ask Desmond Jennings to get ready, probably to pinch run in case Pena gets on. Gianna Navarro told to get ready to possible pinch hit situation. With all these expendable players here, the bench coaches very, very busy in this one.
As a manager, you just need to make sure you're thinking straight when you have so many options.
8 bench players the Rays have to work with. Make sure everything is covered.
Yeah, make sure you have position players. And there's Desmond Jennings talking to Dave Martinez, the rookie just added to the roster. Two and 0.
If you pinch hit for someone or if you pinch run for someone, you got to make sure that your defense is set. You end up with enough bodies.
Well, they are fortunate in that they have Sean Rodriguez and Ben Zobrist in the field. They can move them anywhere they want to.
Throw in Reed Brignac also. He can play all over the field too.
3 and 0. One out here in the 9th inning. A 3-0 count to Carlos Pena. Taking all the way.
Thought they might give him the green light there. He does have a home run in his career against Kevin Gregg.
Good pitch right at the knees. Pena didn't think so. 3 and 2. Longoria at first. He walked him. Back-to-back walks with one out. 2 men on now.
They have pitched around a lot of walks tonight. Sean Camp had a couple of walks last inning. He got out of that. There was a couple of walks in the 6th inning, and they pitched around that.
Casey Jansen walked 2 in the 6th. Sean Camp walked 2 in the 8th, and now Kevin Gregg has walked 2 in the 9th. Tampa Bay has stranded 6 base runners. Sean Rodriguez takes the first pitch strike. Tampa Bay tonight 5 for 10 batting with runners in scoring position. The crowd reacted to time being granted to Sean Rodriguez after Bautista was denied the same request in the 7th. Bautista asked for time, didn't get it, took a called strike. It worked out just fine.
Next pitch, see ya. Missile to left field. You talk about hitting with runners in scoring position. Remember how significant that is, because the Rays started 5 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position.
0 for 10 since. 0-2. A lot of umpires here tonight. Ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, Overbay to second for 1. Back to first. Wild throw. Here comes a runner from third base. Longoria will score. Tampa Bay has taken the lead. That was going to be a difficult double play at best.
Yeah, 3-6-1 is always tough. The same thing happened against the Rangers in a game we just saw yesterday. Same type of play. Ground ball to the right side. Overbay gives a good feed to Escobar. The run comes in when he throws the ball away. Just doesn't get on top of the ball, and it sails on him. Tough for a pitcher. It's going one way to the bag, and the ball's behind him to try and knock it down. A tough play for Gregg. It'll go as an error, and the go-ahead run scores.
John Jaso, a run in, a runner at second. Jaso came on as a pinch hitter last inning and grounded to shortstop. Tampa Bay has taken a 9-8 lead. Ball on the strike. Just not much of a chance for Escobar to double up the runner at first. Rodriguez got out of the box in a timely manner, and it was going to be bang bang.
Tough play.
The throw was way off line.
Tough play for a shortstop. Do you throw it to the pitcher who is covering, or do you try and throw it to the bag? That time it looked like the ball sailed on him, and they threw it behind Kevin Gregg.
John Jaso hits it sharply, but right to Overbay, who will go to the bag. But Tampa Bay has taken the lead here in the 9th. They score a run without the benefit of a hit, 2 walks and an error. But they lead it 9-8. It'll be Buck, Snyder, and Wise at the bottom of the 9th. season, he's been terrific for Tampa Bay.
How about that save percentage? 41 for 43. Just 11 walks in 54 innings, 55 appearances. That's nothing new for Soriano. Last year with Atlanta, he got into 77 games to go along with 27 saves. They are the save leaders in the American League.
Top 5. Soriano 4 ahead of Kansas City's Joaquin Soria.
Soriano is a lot like the last closer we saw in Texas, Neftali Feliz. Got some good fastball and a good slider. Ludo Escobar, you know he wants to get out there and redeem himself after that error. Soriano's got a good fastball and a very tight slider.
Soriano this year 2 for 2 against the Jays in save opportunities, makes his 5th appearance of the season. First pitch breaking ball for a strike.
83 miles an hour. Almost looked like he didn't want to throw it.
Hard breaking ball. Buck went around. 0-2.
He knows that John Buck loves the fastball. That's what he hit out. Soriano's numbers against the Jays, pretty impressive.
14 games, 25 strikeouts in 16 2/3. Just a little bit high. This ball game's had a little bit of everything.
I know they wanted to go high. They wanted to go up and away.
Got good carry on that ball.
See the home plate umpire, Chad Fairchild, didn't even flinch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. John Buck chases the breaking ball down in the dirt. Chaso's throw to first in time. 1 out here in the 9th.
That's where, again, Soriano will get a lot of his strikeouts. That tight slider that he uses for Ks. This time he bounces it. Tough to hold up on.
The only fastball he threw to Buck was way out of the zone. Travis Snyder getting his first look at Rafael Soriano. Good swing at a fastball.
Got a little cut to that fastball, too. Saw a little bit of movement on that ball. He has handled left-handers as well as right-handers this year.
0-2. Throwing in a pretty good spot as well.
About the difference between the right-hander and the left-hander. John Buck, 3 out of the 4 pitchers breaking ball. The left-hander comes up and he challenges him with a couple of fastballs.
0-2 to Snyder. 2 strikeouts for Soriano. Blue Jays down to their final out. Take another look at the high fastball.
By design, up around the letters. For a young hitter, that is so hard, so tempting to lay off of it. You feel like you can hit it 9 miles.
Soriano better locate the fastball to Wise. He can catch up with it.
Looking around. Maybe he's going to try and bunt.
Wise is a very good fastball hitter. Soriano is prone to fastballs to lefties.
We saw Dwayne Wise turn around a fastball in New York. He hit it right off the foul pole for a 3-run home run earlier this year. So he certainly does have enough juice.
Ball on the strike. Soriano looking for his league-leading 42nd save. Two and one. Wise is waiting for something on the inner half.
Turn on an outfielder very deep. Infielders right across the line. Nothing between them and the foul line.
Swings and pops it out of play. If B.J. Upton were any deeper in center, he could run the center field camera. He is standing on the warning track.
That is the deepest center field I've ever seen. Look at that.
And he said, how far back am I? Let's see. There's the warning track. See, not that far from the camera. That is deep. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blue Jays down to their final strike. 3 and 2. We're not done yet. Wouldn't Junel Escobar love a chance to hit?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Give me a shot. And that's all you ask for. Give me a chance.
Full count. 2 outs. Blue Jays trail by 1. Got it. Soriano strikes out the side in the ninth. The Blue Jays put up a valiant comeback, but in the end, the Rays manufacture a run in the ninth.
They use the team speed. They use a very deep bullpen. Soriano's showing you why he's been the best in the American League this year, striking out the side. They struck early. Blue Jays came back, but Tampa was just one better tonight.
Whale of a ball game. Blue Jays trailed by 6 after 1. Tampa Bay wins the opener 9-8. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.